Chaz Kelly, fight canceled at the last second. Derrick Lewis with the knockout win, and Ottman Zaitar given a second chance. This is the Joe Cortez MMA podcast. Let's jump into it. Last week, Derrick Lewis with the knockout win. He was one of the biggest underdogs ever to win in a main event. I think he was the biggest underdog to win in a main event. And I've said this before. You don't go, we got the number 4 heavyweight at a plus 350 underdog. You pick him. He's the number 4 ranked heavyweight in the world for a reason. And there's no reason why he couldn't do the same thing that Francis Ngannou did to Curtis Blades. So that's why I went with him. And that's what I love about this sport. Like, we don't know what's gonna happen. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're crazy for picking these people," but this is the fight game, and we're talking about professional fighters. We're not talking about a guy who's 2-0 in amateur and now he's stepping up to the big leagues. We're talking about 2 fighters who are professionals at the height of their career. And one of them is a plus 350, and that one that's plus 350 is the number 4 ranked heavyweight in the world, who beat Francis Ngannou. And I know the MMA math doesn't always work, but that's why I went with Derrick Lewis. And I love the debate. I love the comments, by the way. I love when people disagree with me. As long as we keep it respectful in the comments, I'm all for it. I'm all for talking about, and debating who's going to win and who's going to lose. So Derrick Lewis comes through. But unfortunately, we went 4 for 6 on the parlay, and better luck this week, hopefully, with Rozenstruik versus Gane card. All right, we're gonna get into that in a second. There's a couple of things I want to talk about though. Chaz Kelly fight canceled the last second because Jamal Emmers got back spasms, and the Nevada State Commission basically canceled the fight by saying Emmers cannot come out and fight. So, which is fine, I get it. You want to be 100% when you step into that octagon. The one thing that I am concerned about is Chaz Kelly gonna get his win bonus? I still don't know. I reached out to him on Instagram. I didn't get a response back. I usually don't, but I really hope he got his win bonus. I don't know if it was reported on. I kind of Googled it half-assed. I'm not an investigator or a journalist, but I was interested because he got ready. He made weight. He warmed up, and he stepped into that octagon, and at the very last second, the fight is canceled. So technically, he didn't win that fight, but it got right up to that point, man. Right up to that point. So if anybody has information on that, I'd like to know what happened. I mean, I think Chaz Kelly should get his win bonus. I think Jamal Emmers should get paid too. I mean, listen, he put in a camp. I think he should get his show money. I know it sucks. The last fucking 10 minutes right before you're about to step into the octagon, you get back spasms, and the Nevada State Commission yanks you from the card. So I mean, is it his fault? I don't know how Jamal Emmers prepared, but we'll see. I really hope that they both got paid and Chaz Kelly at least got his show money, and hopefully his win money. Let's see. Let's give a quick looky. Look. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't think he did. Whatever. Oh well. Moving forward. This one is surprising. Actually, it's not surprising. It's surprising how some people reacted to it. Ottman Zaitar given a second chance. If you guys remember, Ottman Zaitar, I guess, had an unauthorized person try to come to his hotel room during the Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor card. He was on that card. I believe he's 13-1, Ottman Zaitar from Germany. So Dana White, is an impulsive guy. That's what it seems like. I don't know him. But he removed him from the UFC roster. He fired him from the UFC. You'll never fight in the UFC again because of this. He almost ruined a huge card, that Conor McGregor card. You don't fuck with the business. You don't fuck with the money, and I get that. But I also get Dana White weeks later, 2 to 3 weeks later, in his office, back in Vegas, living the dream, and Ali Abdelaziz, who is the manager for Ottman Zaitar, calling up Dana and explaining the situation. I guess there was a miscommunication, and Dana White's just, he's back, he's drinking the coffee, and he's like, Yeah, let's get that guy back on the roster. He's 13-1. He made a stupid mistake. Nothing really happened. So let's get him back on the roster, right? I'm all for it, man. The young guy got his job back. He made a stupid mistake, I'm sure. These COVID-19 protocols, man. People aren't dealing with these shutdowns and lockdowns too well, and I get it, man. He had an unauthorized person trying to go to his hotel room. All right. And then you hear all the people, he could have killed somebody's grandma. Okay, yeah, maybe. Don't think he did. And also, you got people like Ariel Helwani, who I'm growingly not liking this guy. I thought he was a good journalist in the beginning, and I'd listen to him, but I'm increasingly, and I'm not a Dana fan either. I know Dana White and Ariel Helwani have their differences, but I'm like he was throwing shade at Ottman's way. Ariel Helwani, I'm talking about, throwing shade at Ottman's way when he got the second chance to rejoin the UFC roster. When Dana White approved Ottman coming back to the UFC roster, I guess Ariel felt a certain type of way, and he put out a tweet basically saying, this is interesting. He was highly praised for cutting him in the beginning, and then he brings him back with no explanation. No explanation. Now, I'm sure Ariel Helwani tried to reach out to the UFC, and I think Dana White did give a statement, but not to Ariel. He gave a statement to Brett Okamoto. So, obviously there's not a good relationship there. And if you don't know, just recently you can tell when Ariel Helwani decided to make a comment about Gina Carano's situation with Disney and getting fired from Mandalorian. And Dana White basically saying, look at Ariel Helwani, making it about him. Just shut up. He's a fucking douche. Right? And, yeah. Ariel, shut the fuck up, dude. All good, though. All right, let's get into this week's card. Rozenstruik versus Gane, Cyril Gane. This is going to be a violent fight. And, again, we have almost a similar situation where you have two guys they're kind of early in their UFC careers. They've beaten some big names, but you have Rozenstruik, who's a plus 205 underdog against Gane, who's a minus 265 on the money line favorite, according to MyBookie.ag. So, who's going to win that fight? I have a crazy parlay. I have a 7-fighter parlay. I think it's going to pay out 1,799 to one of my followers. So if you haven't done so already, hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. We're giving away money. If we win, it's a good deal. All right. But we have a 7-fighter parlay. Let's start from the bottom here. We have Alex Hernandez versus Tiago Moses. This is going to be a good fight. I mean, Tiago Moses was getting lit up by Michael Johnson a couple of fights ago before he came out in that second round, used some wrestling and heel hooked him or ankle locked him. I forgot which one. But I just don't think you can do that to Alex Hernandez. I think Alex Hernandez is going to push the pace. I think he's in better shape. I think he has more power. And I think he's going to be able to not let Tiago Moses leg lock him. Alex Hernandez just might finish Tiago Moses. Not an Alex Hernandez fan. I don't like how the fucking kid acts, especially when he was dealing with Donald Cerrone, and Donald Cerrone had to put it on him. Saw that fight live. That was fun. But yeah, I think Alex Hernandez gets the nod. The next fight is Alex Caceres versus Kevin Crume. Now, Kevin Crume, I'm increasingly liking what this young fella has to offer to the UFC. So he has a good fight ahead of him against Alex Caceres. He's coming out to prove a point. If you paid attention at all to Kevin Crume's first fight, he won convincingly. Then it gets overturned because his use of marijuana. So I don't know if they're going to reinstate his win because I guess the UFC is not going to be testing for marijuana. They don't care. But, the state commission still does. I know the UFC won't punish you, but the state commission will. I don't think WADA or USADA is going to come after you. But, again, you still have to worry about the state commission. But Kevin Crume's going to come out to prove a point, man. Give that man his win. Give Kevin Crume his win. And I think it's going to be a great fight against Alex. It's going to be a great test for Kevin Crume against Alex Caceres. And just his interview if you watched his interview the other day when he had nunchucks over his neck and he was just talking off the cuff, man, I'm becoming a fan. We'll see what he has to offer, though, on Saturday against Alex Caceres. But I think Crume's going to win that one, right? So we have Hernandez, Crume, right? Now we have Angela Hill versus Ashley Yoder 2, right? Part 2. Angela Hill, man, she's as tough as it comes. And I'm just gonna, it's real easy. I think Angela Hill has improved more than Ashley Yoder has. Angela Hill won the first one. I think she's gonna win the second one. You know, a lot of people think that Angela Hill beat Michelle Waterson in that fight that they had not too long ago, even though Michelle Waterson got the judge's decision. I think Angela Hill is going to put it on Ashley Yoder. Vegas thinks so also. Angela Hill being the minus 315 favorite. And again, this is not like heavyweights fighting. When you have a big underdog with the heavyweight in the heavyweight division, one punch changes the whole fight, and that rarely happens in you know, female MMA. So with Angela Hill's improvement as an MMA fighter and her resume, how she's been challenging herself and being a little bit more active than Ashley Yoder, I think Angela Hill is going to get the win. Minus 315 money line, Angela Hill. All right, now we have another barn burner, Pedro Munoz versus Jimmy Rivera. That's also part 2. That fight got canceled last month or postponed last month to this card. That's going to be a great fight. And again, the same situation. They fought before. Jimmy Rivera, you know, he won the decision, and that was a great fight. They both put it on each other. But I think now that Jimmy's felt Pedro Munoz's power, I think he's not going to be surprised. I think he's going to push the pace a little bit, and I think he's going to make it even more decisive for the judges. I think it goes the distance. I think it's even more decisive for the judges to give Jimmy Rivera that win. It goes the distance. Done. Jimmy Rivera for the win. All right. Montana De La Rosa versus Myra Bueno Silva. Okay, so who has the striking advantage? It's a slight striking advantage for Silva, a slight grappling edge going to De La Rosa, but I think if it doesn't go to the ground, if Bueno Silva can keep it standing up, she's going to get the win. She's a minus 140 favorite. Got to go with Bueno Silva. I mean, I just don't think Montana De La Rosa has it in her to beat Myra. So I think this fight's going to be interesting. All right, because it's such a close fight. It's slight edge grappling going to De La Rosa, slight edge striking going to Silva. It's going to be a fun fight. Now, these next two fights, the co-main and the main event, man, for free fight, this is going to be, if you guys just don't know, if you guys are casual fans, Nikita Krylov versus Magomed Ankalaev as a co-main event, that's amazing, dude. That's gonna be a great fight. If you don't know who Magomed Ankalaev is, go look up his fights against Ion Cutelaba. The guy's a beast. Nikita Krylov, fucking 30 fights, hasn't been finished. My man puts it on the people that he fights against, and you know what? Again, I don't know why Ankalaev is a minus 350 favorite. I do think he's going to win. Shouldn't be a minus 350 favorite. Nikita Krylov has the skills to beat Magomed. I just think it's Magomed's time. I just think he's just too confident. I think he's going to just put it on Nikita. I don't know if he finishes him. I think he's going to win by decision. Nikita Krylov did go the distance with Glover Teixeira. He beat Johnny Walker and submitted OSP. I mean, that right there, that's a great resume. Magomed beat Ion Cutelaba twice, and his only loss came to Paul Craig via triangle that last second of the fight. Crazy, last second of the fight. And he has a lot of hype behind him. He's a minus 350 favorite. I want to pick Nikita Krylov just because of the odds, but I'm going to be smart here. I'm going to do my best to be smart here. Magomed Ankalaev for the win. Co-main event. All right. Now let's go to the main event. Rozenstruik versus Cyril Gane. Rozenstruik's resume is really impressive. So is Cyril's, but he's 7-0. 7-0 and already in the main event. Rozenstruik, he KO'd Overeem, he KO'd Arlovsky, he KO'd Alan Crowder and Dos Santos, right? His winning streak came to an end when he fought Francis Ngannou, whose winning streak doesn't come to an end when you fight Francis Ngannou, but I think he wants that one back badly. You know, Gane is 7-0. Listen, either way, Rozenstruik winning, Gane winning. They're both going to end up fighting Ngannou at some point. And if you've seen Cyril Gane, dude, it's Gane versus Ngannou. Like, Jesus, like, what are we doing here? That's dangerous. That's a dangerous fight. I want to see that. But Rozenstruik being a plus 205, he's gonna want. He wants that rematch against Ngannou. I think he has the skills to put it on Gane, but you got to be careful with Gane. He does have 2 submission wins. Still, heavyweight fight. Rozenstruik catches Gane. It's a done deal. He might give Gane his first loss. Very possible. So I'm going to go with Rozenstruik plus 205. All right, so that's my 7-fighter parlay. Right, so our parlay bet cash giveaway contest. Those 7 fighters win. I'm going to give one of my followers $1,799. All right, so don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, or if you're watching this on Instagram, don't forget to hit that follow button. Hit the notification bell too so you can see when I post my bet offers or my cash giveaway offers. Okay, that's my time here. It is Thursday, February 25th. I want you guys to enjoy the weekend. Hopefully, I'll see you this Saturday, see what goes on with work and whatnot. Maybe I jump on the live, Instagram live, or whatever it is. All right, guys. Anyway, have a good one. I'm out.